Summertime isn't just for people who like the outdoors, it's also for nerds like me who love Game Fest. And there were a plethora of different Game Fests going on, introducing new titles, and I have a cross-section of indie demos that I tried and I want to talk about here. Hi, my name is Dove and I love indie video games, and today I want to rank some of the indie demos that I came across during the multitude of fests going on right now. And this is just for fun. I cut out a fair assortment of games I did not enjoy because I don't want to sit here and bash games that I don't like. So we are ranking these demos by overall play, lack of bugs, and whether or not the demo makes you want to play the full release. First up is Neon Inferno. This side-scrolling shoot-'em-up calls back to the days of the old arcade-style games. Right off the jump, Neon Inferno offers you the ability to select the permadeath style of arcade run or a more modern checkpoint style game. Either way you go, the game hits that nostalgic note while nailing the controls. Simple yet effective. And like the best games in the genre, with a quick press of a button, you go from the 2D shoot-'em-up side-scroller to a free aim where you're trying to hit the back of the screen. It's a smooth way to transition a game and not keep it boring, and Neon Inferno does that extremely well. The controls here include a deflect and parry system, so you can knock back some of your enemy's shots. You also have a double jump, so you never feel like there's a spot that you can't get to in this one. After this summer's demo, Neon Inferno went from a neat little curiosity to me to something I'm fully psyched about. With the solid controls, a great pace, and inclining challenge, this is a solid demo. I think this is going to be a great game for fans of the retro side-scrolling shoot-'em-up. But for those who aren't the biggest fans of that genre, there might not be too much draw here. This is going to start things off with a B-tier rank. So if you're interested in Neon Inferno by Zavonia Interactive, check it out on Steam, and its full release is set for October 1st of this year. Next up, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound by developer Game Kitchen. It's a retro-style throwback that fans of the original franchise will love. The graphics are perfectly pixelated, the 90s MIDI metal is rockin', and the challenging Ninja Gaiden gameplay is there as soon as you start the tutorial. And that's the kind of challenge I came to Ninja Gaiden Ragebound for, along with being a kick-ass ninja, of course. The controls feel intuitive, and once you kick off the dust, you'll be slicing through levels in no time. The graphics are retro but smooth. You can see the animations crystal clear, which can be rather important in a game where you have to time your jumps and hits nearly perfectly. I think this game has a good balance for veterans of the series while introducing newcomers to the challenging side-scroller that is Ninja Gaiden. So with this one surpassing my expectations and delivering solid gameplay, I have to rank this demo in A tier. If you're a fan of the franchise or you just want a good challenge, check out Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, coming out July 31st. Next we have ZCurse. It's a tower defense style shooting survival game. This looked like a game that reminds me of a zombie style of Asteroids, or more Space Invaders-ish, if you will. I was hoping there could be a bit of gaming magic, but there wasn't. I don't want to sit here and hate on the game, life is too short for that. This game just didn't hit for me. At best, this game just felt like some carbon copy of a mobile game with some roguelike elements. And not to beat a dead horse, but none of those roguelike elements were all that fun, and they didn't seem to even make a difference sometimes. Maybe you saw this one and already stood away, or maybe this is right up your alley. I won't judge either way. But I personally will not recommend ZCurse at this point. It's got a lot of work to do, few bugs, so at this point, ZCurse is the lone D-tier ranking for the video. Next we have Digital Sun's Moonlighters 2, a game I have been anticipating for a while. I very much enjoyed the original, but have always been critical of the combat. The idea of running a shop off the stuff you collect from your dungeon crawling is a fantastic idea. And I generally have the most fun running that shop and haggling with the customers. It was a lot of fun to see your treasure chests stack up with each negotiation. I poured a lot of hours into that aspect of the game, to be honest, and I really thought this game had an amazing idea at the heart of it. I was hoping Moonlighters 2 would make a big jump in combat when they moved to 3D, and they absolutely nailed it. It was exactly what I was hoping for, sharper controls with more of a variety in your attacks. They changed the shopkeeping aspect, so that might be jarring for some fans of the original. Instead of trying to find the exact right price point, the game now gives you a couple boosts and already starts you at a suggested price, so there's not much haggling at all. I did like the old ways, but I still plan on playing this game because the combat system is way better. All in all, Moonlighters 2 made a tremendous leap in combat, and I have to put them on the S tier. This is a game that was already on top of my list, and the well-made demo makes this a must for this indie nerd. Moonlighters 2 demo available on Steam and has a summer 2025 release date. World Hockey 88 was a gem amongst clever titles and solid demos. Some of my earliest gaming memories were playing ice hockey on the NES, and World Hockey 88 calls back to those days and adds a flair of the early Super Nintendo and Sega NHL games. The game captures the zaniness and simplicity of the original ice hockey, where you control the entire team at once, including the goalie. You also get to select their size as you build up your lineup for each game. It's a lot of fun, it gets the heart going, and it now adds the modern day style sports channel graphics and cuts. That right there is enough for me to be excited for this one to come out, but what makes this video game nerd really excited is the fact that World Hockey 88 adds a tournament and championship mode to it, something very much lacking from this title's inspiration. The game also keeps the players' graphics on the pixel side while having some newer age graphical enhancements all around. The reflections in the ice and the wear down effect you have for the surface adds just the perfect artistic touch. To make this even better, there's 1 to 4 player online exhibition mode and 1 to 2 player tournament mode. I know some of these retro sports titles aren't everybody's cup of tea, but this one is so well made, and I'm so excited about World Hockey 88 by Phantasm Digital. I have to put this on the A tier. It's coming to full release June 20th, so get your wish list ready. If you enjoyed VWoo Games' first side-scrolling, procedurally generated dungeon crawling platforming roguelike, then you'll probably enjoy their second, Neon Abyss 2. After the first installment became a bit of a cult hit, the second looks to add, among other features, online co-op play. Now, I wouldn't fully compare Neon Abyss to Contra, but with that co-op element, I can see fans of the old Konami series taking a shine to this one here. You get the retro pixelated graphics and the thoughtful roguelike elements added to this side-scrolling shooter, which help make this an easy recommend for me. I've been a big fan of Enter the Gungeon, and this feels like the side-scrolling cousin to that particular gem. The Neon Abyss 2 demo has a lot of game to play and has a functional co-op already. If you're interested, check out the demo available on Steam. Indie studio Magic Pockets is responsible for this next title, Space Adventure Cobra: The Awakening, a game I didn't know I needed until I played the demo. The art style instantly grabbed me, even in the trailers, with its callback to the 80s style of cartoons while giving it a full retro-looking platformer vibe. When I fired up the demo, I was blown away. The seamless transition from the animated series-style cinematics to the platforming was awesome. Although the original Space Cobra series is before my time, the artistic style of both the platforming and cartoons really hit that nostalgic note. With those seamless transitions between the cinematics and platforming, it feels like you're kind of playing through one of the very episodes of the series. And although I didn't grow up watching this particular series, it felt like I was back watching my Saturday morning cartoons. When it comes to the gameplay, it nails the controls and has the standard Metroidvania moveset. But my favorite part of the action is the Psycho Gun. You essentially get to slow things down and get a 2D version of bullet time, where you also get to guide the shot, taking down multiple enemies at once. It's insanely fun. The backgrounds are gorgeous and again really go back to those old school cartoons and make it feel like you're living in that very world, or at least gaming in it. This entire game just oozes atmosphere, and the platforming and combat are a lot of fun. This one blew me away because it's a game I didn't even know that I needed, but now I have to have it. Mark this an S tier for me. Coming to PC, the Xboxes, PlayStation, and Switch this August 26th.
They found me.
Who's found you?
The Guild's killer troops. They're the personal guards of the Space Pirate Guild leader, Crystal Bowie.
Du's DZM developed M.I.O, or Missing in Orbit, the next game I found during the slew of demos and indie promotions. At first, it just intrigued me as another Metroidvania-style platformer, but once you start playing it, the art style takes over and completely draws you in. Along with all the sound effects making this thing just feel like a surreal, little, perfectly hand-drawn Metroidvania, the controls are responsive, and there are some solid platforming puzzles as well. It didn't take me long to send this to my wish list. Sometimes when games nail all the basics down, you can just feel that there's a good game coming, and that's what I felt when I started playing M.I.O. The movement and combat work together to keep this one fun to play and beautiful, all with some interesting lore to boot. This was a well-crafted world that I found enjoyable to double jump and platform myself across in. This came out of nowhere and really stuck the landing. With how impressive this one is, I have to rate this an A-tier demo. Check out M.I.O, Missing in Orbit, available on the Steam store for demo, and looking to port to PC, the PlayStations, Xboxes, and Switch at full release. Superhero Simulator by developer Mighty Raccoon is the title that this channel has been looking forward to since its announcement. As I noted when we started looking at this game, it has the word simulator right there in the title. And it's true to that genre, as Superhero Simulator sticks with a point-and-click combat system. So if you're looking for that simulation aspect, and you weren't trying to chain together a bunch of combos or have a bunch of different powers to take down enemies, then you're in luck, because that's exactly what this game is. Most of the simulation aspects are well done for the genre. There might be some argument on the handling here and there, but for the most part, this game delivers as promised. I gotta tell you, the flying mechanic feels really good. There's a full city map with life going on all around it, and the world and atmosphere is captured perfectly with the comic book style graphics. They just fit in perfectly with this style of game. Outside of my own feelings about the combat, the only real drawback to this game is the lack of controller support. But with the overwhelming response during Next Fest, let's see what Mighty Raccoon does. Overall, the gameplay is exactly what the developers promised. I think if you're into simulation-style games and love superhero movies, this is probably for you. You're definitely going to have to temper your expectations for the combat system, as it is in the simulation vein, so don't go thinking you're going to be countering and parrying left and right. But with that in mind, this is a solid B-tier demo for this summer's indie demo rankings. If you're interested, check out the Superhero Simulator demo, available on Steam. The last one we have today is Absolum, a side-scrolling beat-em-up roguelike created by Guard Crush, the developers behind Streets of Rage 4, a game that got a lot of positive reviews across the board. This time, Guard Crush is making their own IP and mixing in a little bit of roguelike. The art style works perfectly with this type of game. Sometimes indie games get a little too into their own lore. Luckily, they did not do that in this title here, and it helps keep the pace and lets you get into the good stuff like beating up the bad guy and getting cool roguelike power-ups between each map. I haven't played too many side-scrolling beat-em-ups with the roguelike twist, but I have to say I enjoyed this one. There were a few instances where I felt like the maps didn't have many enemies at all, and I was just basically being given power-ups. But that was generally very early on, and this is a demo where they're trying to show us as much as possible. I can't wait for the full release of this one, and to be totally transparent, this kinda came out of nowhere for me. The combat is simple and the controls are tight. It doesn't take too long to figure things out and to make some screen-clearing combos. The upgrades add the right amount of chaos to combat and give nice boosts and multipliers to the different builds you can think of. I have to rate this one an A tier. Although the Absolum demo is only available on PC, the full release of the game will be hitting the PlayStation 4, 5, and the Nintendo Switch, as well as the PC. Thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit the like button. And subscribing goes a long way towards bringing you more content like this. We also have a weekly news indie podcast called The Gamer Buff. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, this is The Gamer Buff.